Hey there, Stampers. This is Sherry Roth with StampTreasures.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm happy to be here today to share with you how to create this card. This card uses the Night in Bethlehem bundle, which includes this stamp set and the coordinating framelits. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, first of all, let's grab a piece of scrap cardstock, or scrap paper, and then I've got a piece of Whisper White cardstock that measures 3 3/4 by 5, and I'm going to use this larger border image and Sahara Sand ink. Okay, I'm going to ink up my image, and I'll stamp it. For the first time, I'll stamp it just not quite half, straight across, and I'm kind of centering the image. I'll stamp it down, and then I'm going to ink it again, but this time I'm going to stamp off on my scrap paper and then go back and stamp it again. So I'm going a little bit higher up and I'm moving it slightly to the left. And that gives you, it makes it look like the city has a bit more depth. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and stamp my star. So I've got Daffodil Delight ink and my star image from the same set. I'm going to stamp it right about here. Okay, and then I'll do my greeting. Well, I've got this piece here. Greeting. So this greeting says Rejoicing in Christ, and I'm going to stamp it in soft suede ink. Make sure I've got it going the right way. You can see I don't put the stickers on the back of my clear mount stamps because I find they stick a little bit better. So now I've got my greeting. So that piece I can set aside. I'm going to leave that ink out, pull out a piece of scrap Whisper White, and I'm going to stamp this image in soft suede. Onto my white cardstock. Perfect. Okay, and now I'm going to bring in my Big Shot. Let's move this stuff out of the way for a minute. So I've got my Big Shot here with the magnetic platform and one clear mat, and then I've got my cardstock and the framelit. I'll position this on here. It's pulling a little bit. So whenever the magnets pull in a direction that I don't want it to pull, I tend to move the cardstock in that direction just to make sure that it stays put. So I've got my other clear mat on top. Run that through. And there's my image. Okay. Let's move this guy out of the way and we can start to assemble the card. Okay. So I've got my card base is Sahara Sand. It measures 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, so it's a standard size card. And then my soft suede layer measures 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Now I'm going to flip over my white cardstock and you'll see that I messed up, and I'm going to explain to you why. Okay, so this was the first time I attempted the video. I stamped it and then I did not re-ink it and stamped off. What I did was I just moved it up. And I found if you look closely, so remember how I said take the image and put it in the center and then move it up and move it over? Well, I moved it over, but that piece that was hanging off the edge the first time was still fully inked. So I ended up with a piece here that was fully inked and the rest was stamped off, and I didn't like that. So that's why I restarted the video and I told you guys to re-ink it and then stamp off and then do it, and then you won't have that problem. All right, so you can learn from my mistakes. So I'm just going to use a little bit of Fast Fuse. This is my adhesive of choice now. It used to be Tombow, but this is just so much faster. But it does take a little bit of getting used to. Okay, so I did that flat, and then this piece is going to be up on dimensionals. So I'll use a few of those on here. Actually, while I have them, I'll do the back of this guy. Okay, peel off the backings. And then this guy goes onto my Sahara Sand card base with a little bit more of a border than what I normally do, but I like the look of that. It looks really nice. And then peel off the backings of this guy. And then they get put on here like that, and there we go. A beautiful Christmas card. This is another one that would be easy to mass produce, and it's such a beautiful card. I love that Night in Bethlehem bundle. All right, so thanks for watching. If you're looking for more inspiration, feel free to visit my blog at stamptreasures.com.